Jesus has taken one of the laws of Moses from Deuteronomy and one of the laws of Moses from Leviticus, put them together. These are the two greatest commandments, to love your neighbor as yourself. Now, in this case, why does he do that? Well, already by the 1st century AD in Judaism, there's a recognition that these two commandments, love of God and love of neighbor, in a sense, summarize the two tablets of the Decalogue of the 10 Commandments. So if you look at the first 3 commandments, prohibition of idolatry, against taking the Lord's name in vain, and then keeping the Sabbath, those all are commandments oriented toward love of God. And then the second tablet of the 10 Commandments, honoring your father and mother, not killing, not committing adultery, not stealing, not bearing false witness, not coveting your neighbor's possessions or wife, all those commandments are oriented toward love of neighbor, okay? So what Jesus is essentially doing is boiling the 10 Commandments, distilling them down to their essence and their core, and then linking those cores to 2 passages of Scripture. Deuteronomy 6, love of God, which they would pray 3 times a day, and then Leviticus 19, love of neighbor, which was not part of that liturgical prayer, but which he's bringing to the fore here. And I would just say that this practice of memorizing Scripture, of putting Scripture into our hearts, is something that is very ancient, and it's also something that's very powerful. Because when you recite words like that 3 times a day, they're going to actually shape the way you see reality, the way you live each day. It's hard to live in opposition to God and at the same time recite 3 times a day to love God with all your heart, all your strength, all your soul, right? Does it make sense? Invariably, too, when people start to live lives of disobedience, the first thing to go is prayer. The first thing to go is daily prayer. You can just, trust me, you can put money on that. Take that to the bank. That's how it works. Because prayer is that living relationship of love with God. Once the relationship starts to dwindle, the prayer goes, and especially daily prayer, that's the first place to go. And then disobedience becomes more and more easy to carry out. Okay, in closing then, what about the living tradition?